Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 horror film The Invisible Man, a film that is written and directed by Leigh Whannell, who brought us things like Insidious Chapter 3 and Upgrade, and is a very talented upcoming writer-director. And it stars Elizabeth Moss, and we also have Oliver Jackson Cohen and Addis Hodge starring in this film. Now, this is a remake, reimagining of The Invisible Man, whatever you want to call it. Now, Universal over the past few years have struggled to bring many of the big screen, old-fashioned monsters back successfully. They've tried with Dracula, they've tried with Frankenstein, they've tried with The Mummy, and they've all fairly spectacularly failed. So I suppose there's not many people out there, myself included, had particularly high hopes for this one. However, I've got to say, I was blown away by this film. Absolutely loved it. Edge of the seat stuff, this film. And it focuses on Elizabeth Moss's character, Cecilia, who is, at the beginning of the film, you see her trying to escape a very abusive relationship to Adrian Griffin, who is like this optics tech wizard genius guy, who's obviously been abusing her physically and psychologically for many years. She manages to get away. It then appears that he has committed suicide, Adrian. She thinks she's free. However, she is then stalked by this invisible force that she soon begins to realise could in fact be her abusive ex, Adrian. Right, so what are my thoughts on this film? Well, like I said, it just absolutely blew me away. This film absolutely blew me away. It is the best horror stroke thriller I've seen for a while, and the best leading performance by a woman I've seen since Toni Collette in Hereditary. Might be doing other actresses a disservice there. I've probably seen some pretty good ones since then, but she really stood out in this performance. Elizabeth Moss, wow, what an actress she is. You really bought her performance. You felt sympathy for her. This a woman who in this abusive relationship, she portrayed that so well, of being so vulnerable, and then the eventual defiance and fight back, and everything that she did on screen, can't fault. It was just an incredibly powerful performance by her, and I think any less of a performance, this film could have been cheesy as hell. You know, in the hands of a lesser director and less talented actors and a studio wanting to do something different, like what they did with The Mummy. You know, just poured layers of cheese and ridiculousness all over it. This could easily have failed, but they didn't. It's like The Invisible Man for a new generation. How he becomes invisible is very believable, if a little bit underwhelming, you could argue. You know, previous versions of this film, you know, like Hollow Man, for example, you know, the Kevin Bacon film, go down different routes. Well, this goes down a more grounded route, and it works. It really works. It doesn't affect the film at all, because this director's so talented. He can just basically point the camera at a chair. All you're seeing is a chair, but your mind's telling you that he's sat in that chair. So you sat there looking, staring, seeing if you can see any clue that is there, like for example, when she's outside, you know, you see like his breath and things like that. And so every time you suspect, or the musical score tells you to expect that he is around, or she feels it is around, you're staring at anything you can grasp, and there's nothing there most of the time. It's very cleverly filmed, and it's expert way of building tension in this film. You've got your heart in your mouth throughout this whole film. You really do. You're on the edge of your seat. The tension is this. It's on par with A Quiet Place. that film gave me a headache. It was so tension filled, and this is very much like that. And frustrating as hell, because you know what's happening, as she does eventually, but things escalate and get so out of hand. There's a couple of things that happen in this film where your jaws touching the floor, because you just can't believe it's just happened. You think she's getting somewhere, and then boom, it just does something you don't expect, really shocking and horrific, that takes it to another level. And I've got to say, I absolutely love this film. I can't praise it enough. It's one of those films when I got home, and I got home and I had a shower a few hours after getting home, and I was actually thinking about the film in the shower, and there are a number of plot holes in this film that you could point your fingers at or pull on the threads. They are there. I'm not going to spoil them because they're going to give spoilers away, but there are a couple of logic issues here in this film, and a couple of plot holes that aren't particularly well explained, but you forgive them because it's such a top quality film. You don't go away and want to point fingers at these plot holes, really, because I've been so entertained by the film. Absolutely loved it. It's one of the best horrors I've seen for a good long while, I feel, and it's just a really, really well made film. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film. It's so good, I can't tell you how good it is. I didn't expect it to be anything like as good as it was. Really loved it. Who thought they could bring the Invisible Man back? I think so successfully. Brilliant, very empowering as well, I think, in a lot of ways. And Elizabeth Moss, wow, what a performance. Wait till you see it. So that's my review for The Invisible Man. Great film, brought it to a new generation, and I definitely recommend you check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that's my review for The Invisible Man, sorry. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for more reviews on Screen Stars.